Okay, let's start to talk about the new organization in part 2. Okay, so last time we talked about what is the knowledge. Okay, what does it mean of the knowledge? We divide the knowledge into two types, right? One is about tacit knowledge that inside the human mind, okay, still in the human mind that difficult to explain, right? Difficult to explain. And still in the human mind 80%, and the explicit knowledge that you can see with your eyes, like in the book, right? And last time we talked about how to transform the data to the information to the knowledge, and the knowledge to the wisdom. How to transform the data to information that you can analyze, right? And then when you would like to transform the information to the knowledge that you can act, and also when you would like to transform the knowledge to the wisdom that you can apply, okay? And then we talk about the knowledge management. It means that you manage the knowing people. How? The process that you can manage the knowing people. You can start who is the expert. Then you start to identify the experience from the expert. And then the second, you can interview the expert. That means you create and acquire the experience from the expert. And then number 3, you organize the experience from the expert. Then you store the experience of the expert to the system. You might be stored in the technology or some non-IT. Okay? And then after you store, you can share the experience from the expert to the knowledge worker. Okay? That then the knowledge worker can apply the experience that they learn from the expert to apply for that task. In order to improve performance, improve the productivity, improve or increase the competitiveness. Okay? And then we use the experience, okay, to drive the business, to drive the organization, because this time we use the intangible assets or experience, skill, okay, to drive the organization. The people should use their creativity, okay, and focus on the customer demand. Okay, that we talk about the last part or the part 1. So this part 2, we're gonna know about what is the organization and what is the new organization. So the objective of this class, in order to understand the organization, the student should understand the organization and understand the changing, what happened to the organization right now. Okay, we can start to know about what is the definition of the organization. The organization is mean that people get together, more than 2, in order to do something that has common. For example, they get together because they have a common goal, they have a common objective, they have the common interest, okay? They might have the common problem that they get together, okay? So the definition of what is the organization is mean that the social unit that get together, people get together, more than 2, they meet, okay, manage the meeting, and they have the same purpose, okay? they have the same purpose, the same goal, that then they get together. Okay, interest. Okay, and the activity, they have a meeting, they have some collaboration among the team. Okay, the organization is mean that the management structure, has a relationship between the different activities and different membership, and each person has their own roles, and they have the responsibility. Okay, and they have authorized to carry out different tasks. Tasks is mean that the people use the experience to work on that task. Okay, the organization are the open system. The open system is mean that they have a network to connect with the environment. Okay, it means that the environment affect to the organization. Any change from the environment can affect to the organization. Okay, another definition from the ISO 30401, okay, it means that individual people or group of people get together and they have responsibility for that task. They have authorized to do that task, and among the team has a relationship in order to work to achieve that goal and objective of the organization. Okay, we have the organization model to explain the organization. Normally we start to who is the customer. Who is the customer is the main focus. Okay, who is the customer, and based on that customer, what is the requirement from the customer. And normally organization, okay, any organization gonna decide the objective, product, service, vision and mission rely on the requirements from the customer, right? And the staff member, they have their own competency, performance. Okay, who is the staff member, and they have their own competency, performance to do the task, use their experience to do the task in order to meet the objective from the organization. Okay, but not just only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 okay item. The organization has the shareholder that not equal to the stakeholder, shareholder that who can support some budget of fund to the organization. Okay, this kind of item of the organization model that you can use to identify the structure of the organization or the organization definition. So the group assignment number 1, you can get together about 1, 2, 3 to 5 students. Okay, and the job that you need to know to do in this assignment, you have to choose the company as an organization. You can choose the company, you can choose any government unit, you can choose the community or any job, any enterprise. Is up to you based on your interests, okay, as your organization. Then when you choose the organization, you need to find the general information, what they do, what is the product, what is the service, okay, where they are, and identify the organized structure, okay, what is the objective, mission, who is a shareholder, who is staff member, what is the competency, okay, what is the performance, who is the customer, what is the requirement from the customer. And then we can find the time to present your work. But another thing, you need to write the name of your team and upload to the Mango Canvas. But you can put on the PowerPoint or Word, okay? Not set the deadline, okay? Not set the deadline yet, okay? So let's continue with the new organization, okay? The new organization, what happened with the new organization? Okay, if we use some symbolic to represent the organization, the new organization, if we represent the organization as a symphony orchestra, you can see the conductor, okay, the violin player, the flute player, the piano player, the singer, okay, the drum player. So we call that as specialist or expert, okay, who have more experience, has been done the job successfully. This specialist of the symphony orchestra has a conductor, right, conduct the symphony orchestra. We have a violin player as specialist. We have a flute player as specialist. We have a pianist as a specialist, okay? Or if we focus on the hospital organization, the specialist as a doctor of neurologist, cardiologist, taking care about the cardio or heart. Okay, neuro is about nerve. Okay, orthopedics is about bone. The dentist about the teeth, right? These specialists in the hospital, they get together in order to heal or take care of the patient, right? Okay, and if we focus on the university as an organization, the specialist is a professor, right? And the professor has different expertise. Some is biology, chemistry, business, or education, or might be engineering, or some physics, or any languages, right? And the organization about software development company, the specialist is about the programmer, right? About the CEO, lots of specialists in the software house, but they work as an agile team and they do a process as a scrum. Okay, you can see as a column first. Okay, we have agile team 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, as a column. They get together as a team, as an agile team, and the team member of each person do different tasks, okay, and they can scrum, they meeting scrum together as a week, okay, to follow the job, to get the feedback, okay. They scrum within the team, or we can set that they can scrum within the same task, okay. It's different to decide. So in the organization, if they have more specialists, many specialists, is a big organization, they will need a feedback, okay? They need a feedback from the colleague, from the customer, from the headquarters. How? So let's see the Scrum process, okay? We have a team of the product owner as in the organization, okay? We have a team, and the team do their work, okay? Different work, different activity, okay? They work on the task, and we have the organization have the spin master or scrum master. They're gonna follow the job week or 2 week, we call as spin. When they follow the job from the team at scrum, they follow by the meeting, stand-up meeting, spin review, or check with finished work, or have a spin retrospective. And this feedback, okay, gonna input again back to the product owner. That is mean that this we call the framework of Scrum model in the software development company. Okay, the feedback gonna let them improve the work, improve the task, improve the productivity, improve the competitiveness, improve the performance, improve the competency. Okay, what happened with the new organization? So this time we have the information-based organization. It means that organization focus on the information and ready to act, okay, as a knowledge base. We use the experience to drive organization. Okay, we need a feedback. Okay, we need a feedback to drive the organization, because we need to have advantage competitiveness, and we compete with a speed base, right? So, and the new organization, we need the knowledge worker. We don't need the manual worker. We use the intellectual capital more than hands, right? We use creativity, okay, rather than the hands. And we resist command, resist control, but we need conduct. Okay, and the organization, we need the innovation. We need the knowledge worker to create, to innovate the new thing. We need the knowledge worker have a mindset of entrepreneur. Okay, so the new organization, we need specialists. We have the specialists. We focus on the knowledge and the information base to drive the organization. We need a worker in organization to use their experience in order to innovate and to be the entrepreneur. Okay, we need them to use the intellectual capital more than hands. We need them to use experience to create the new thing. Okay, so the group assignment number 2 about the specialist and knowledge. Okay, from the group assignment number 1, who is the specialist in your organization? Okay, and what is their experience? Okay, what are their knowledge from your organization based on the specialist? Okay, the same, put the name of your team together within the PowerPoint. You can put on the Word or PowerPoint, is up to you, and then upload to the Canvas. No deadline set yet. Okay, so we finished is the part 1 about the introduction about the knowledge management, and finish about the part 2 about the organizational model. Okay, customer requirement, design the objective product service. Okay, and we focus on the experience from the staff to do the task. We know about the new organization should have the specialist, focus on the information-based system, use the knowledge base to drive the organization. We need a knowledge worker to innovate the new thing, to have a mindset of entrepreneur. Okay, use the experience to increase the productivity, to increase the competitiveness. Okay, this is also about the part 2, the new organization.